Good morning, class. Today I'm going to be showing you how to do gram stain. At the completion of this video training session, the technologist watching will be able to perform the following objectives: perform the gram stain with minimal supervision 100% of the time, list the steps and reagents required for this procedure, and be able to identify gram-positive, gram-negative bacilli or cocci and correlate the results with the stains that were used. First thing is PPE, which is lab coat and gloves, and goggles or glasses if you prefer. Things you will need for this procedure is gram stain slide, which you could let air dry or heat fix if you prefer, or if your facility has the different preference. You also need a timer. All the stains and reagents, which is right here. Primary stain is the crystal violet. Secondary stain, iodine. Gram stain decolorizer, which is half acetone and alcohol. And last is gram stain safranin, which is the red. I'm just going to do a like a QC slide for every day. You can do a QC slide with all your staining. I'm just going to perform that today for y'all. You also need a water source to rinse off in between steps. So I'm going to turn that on right now. Okay. First thing is the crystal violet for 1 minute. And it's very important once we get to the decolorizer stage, because a lot of techs will under decolorize or over decolorize, and that'll affect your results of whether if it was gram positive or gram negative. Because if you over decolorize, then you're wiping away too much of the purple and it could cause false negatives. And if you under decolorize, you're risking for false positives. So that's the main objective of my training video today. Alright, that's been a minute. I'm going to rinse it after this stain. And then the next stain is the iodine. And you're just flushing it on there, making sure it's nice and covered. And then time it for a minute as well. The crystal violet will stain gram-positive bacteria, and that will hold to that bacteria because of the cell wall is thicker and it holds this purple stain better. And then when you do the decolorizer, it doesn't wash away like it does for gram-negative. Gram-negative bacilli or cocci, gram-negative bacteria will wipe away all completely for that purple stain, and it will hold the safranin on the very last step. That will make the gram-negative bacteria look pink red under the microscope. Okay, that's a minute. Now you're gonna rinse again. And then the next step is the decolorizer, which is a very important step. You're just gonna flush it just a little bit until the purple stain kind of just runs off. And then you're gonna immediately rinse right after. And then lastly, the safranin, which is that red dye, for another minute. It gets a little messy sometimes, so some techs will either have gloves on, obviously, and then some techs will like these little tweezers to kind of, you know, grip the slide. So it's preference for that too. And I always like to turn on the water as soon as I start and have it steadily dripping. That way it's easier to just kind of rinse it off in between steps and stains. So alright, then another minute, and this is the last stain, and you're gonna rinse it off again. Turn off the water, and then you're gonna let it air dry. You're not gonna dab it with paper towels or any of that, because you're gonna risk like kind of wiping off the bacteria, so you don't want to do that either. And you'll look under the microscope after it's dry with oil immersion at 100x. Thank you for watching.